Hi, soul family. I'm not feeling very well, so I'm just gonna relax. And I thought, while I'm here, I might as well get a message for us for the day. Last night, yesterday, I went to the Goodwill to pick up some pots for my plants that I bought, and there was a video that was sitting there, and I picked it up, and I didn't read it. I just picked it up, and this guy that I had been talking to, he and his girlfriend were there. He'd been looking at children's books, and all the books that he was looking at, I was looking at. We were looking at the same kind of thing. So he says to me, "That's a really good movie." He goes, "We've got that." And I said, "Well, I'm supposed to watch a movie with my cats, just kind of chill out, so maybe I'll get it." And he goes, "Yeah, it's kind of like a dark comedy." So I'm like, "Okay." He says, "It's the guy from Thor." God, so many messages. So I go to watch the movie last night. I get everybody, organized, and I'm totally feeling fine. Everything's great. And I bring Willow out with me on the couch, and we start to watch the movie. And, they have previews. And the previews were about exorcism. And I'm like, okay, this is not entertaining for me. I don't find that entertaining. I'm not going to welcome that kind of energy into my house. So I was curious as to why was it showing that kind of movie, one after another after another. And I'm like, okay, it always shows the kind of movie that you're going to watch. So I read it, and I mean, I don't know about dark comedy, but it was absolutely about exorcism and dark energy. And instantly, Sammy started to throw up. And I said, all right, I don't even want this in my house. And I took it. I've done this before. My kids used to think I was nuts. They would bring home CDs, and it was just the music to me. I just felt like it was demonic. So I wouldn't even, or a book, and I said, I don't even want this in my house. And I'd put it out on the windowsill, get it out of this house. And they thought I was nuts. But they'll tell you that. And I mean, obviously not obviously, but I mean, they got desensitized and I got desensitized. But my first reaction was, I don't want this in my house, right? So I took it outside, and I didn't even want it in my perimeter of my property. And I said to Archangel Michael, okay, can you do a sweep, clean this? But it had already come in. There had been 2 previews of exorcisms, and then it started, the movie. And the energy had already come in. And now Willow started to throw up. And then I started to get a really bad stomach ache. And I thought, gotta be kidding me. That fast, the energy came in. And I was super tired, like beyond tired. Have you ever been so tired that you're nauseous? So I thought, for me at first, maybe that's what it was. I was just way overtired and I needed to go to bed. But no, it was really bad. And so I mean, my head was pounding, my stomach was sick, the cats were throwing up. It was just like, God, you be kidding me. So I asked Archangel Michael to sweep through the house. Please remove any energies or any entities that came in through that. And they're pointing to a Leo. That's what they're showing me. They're showing me a magician. And this person is skilled at what they do, and they are sending dark energy towards me. And it makes them angry that I'm not giving them attention, or that I'm moving forward with something that they don't want me to. I don't know. And anyway, I was like, okay, well, come on, Archangel Michael, let's take care of this. But I was so run down, and I was so exhausted, and my body just started to shake, and the cats were sick, and I was just like, oh God. So I crawled into bed. My body was shaking, like I had chills, and it was like a flu hitting me. And I thought, okay, you're going to bed. You're going to sleep this off, and you're going to stay in bed all day tomorrow if you have to. And then I had the javelinas show up. I spent like $60 on plants yesterday. And your items to choose from, I'll give you, you can pick out your items while we're talking about this. There's reasons I'm talking about what I am. So we've got Archangel Michael. We got the sun. I like this. Look at this. This is pretty cool. I've put a bunch of crystals on it. So the Buddha, the sun, and then we'll do this little rat. This little rat's got a crystal in his mouth. Okay. All right, those are your items. So I hear this bash, 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 and I thought, oh gosh. Sure enough, the javelinas were out there, and they were huge, and they had completely decimated my flowers. Cut off all the tops of the flowers. Were knocking over the bird feeders, and they got into the big suet block, and I was just like, get out of here, come on. And there were messages to myself throughout the whole thing. These pigs, this big fat pig that eats and eats and eats and eats and eats and eats, takes and takes and takes and takes until he's sick. I said, it's not for you. This sweet, what did I say? The sweet flowers are not for you. They're for the birds. And the birds represented somebody to me. And yet there was this big fat cop, was what they showed me. And that's interesting, I don't know. But they were bullies, and they went after the very expensive things. So they had, expensive taste. They liked the finer things, and they were a bully. And so I chased them away, and I brought my plants in. And what was interesting is they didn't go after the one plant. They decimated one, and the other one they didn't. The sage they kind of sniffed around, and I said, you're not getting my sage either. The sweet sage. And so I went back in the house, and I had just started to fall asleep again, and they started up again. So that was now 4 o'clock, 4:30, and I was just like, oh, jeez. And I got to tell you, I have not been hit hard like this, in a long time. I feel horrible. So I'm just taking it light. And my cats are sleeping now. They were having a hard time. They were all throwing up. And, people would say, that's not a psychic attack, you're just sick. No, it is a psychic attack. It's energy that was directed here by a freaking magician. So I do not choose that little rat that has the crystal in its mouth. I will not choose that. I'll choose Archangel Michael, that's going to balance things out. I'll choose the Divine Masculine, the Sun, and the Buddha. The rat, no. Correct for neutrality. So let's start. And this deck, for some reason, seemed to be the one that Spirit wanted to be used. Alice in Wonderland. Because it kind of feel like that, right? Like I was drugged or something. So I could have been picking up somebody else's energy as well. Like I could have been channeling what they felt. I don't know. But man, it kicked my ass. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Don't let yourself get run down. Don't let yourself get overtired, because somebody comes at you like that, you're not able to combat it. You don't realize it's coming in. And don't be watching movies like that. Don't be hanging around people like that. It's like a welcome sign. Say, come on in. Come on in and fuck with us. Keeping up. Immense effort. Advance. For those who chose Archangel Michael. So maybe that's what, that's what I've been doing, right? Putting in immense effort, trying to keep up. And then you find yourself just, chasing the clock. You pretty soon, it's like midnight and you didn't even realize it. You've been working like crazy. And you think that you've got to be the be-all, end-all. You got to be the one that does it all. We've got archangels. We've got, we can, what's the word? Delegate authority. So it could be that the lessons are coming. I get this too. Like things are happening really fast. Things are shifting very, very quickly here. Like I'm manifesting absolutely everything. And that was one thing that was really cool about my dreams, even though I was so sick. I was talking about how I manifest everything. And it's what I heard it was, you need to manifest in order to manifest. You need to work in order to manifest, but you don't need to work hard. You don't need to beat yourself to death, but you need to put in effort, right? Some people think that immense effort is required, that you must work hard to get what you need in order to advance. But Spirit says, at this time, you do, unfortunately. At this time, things are happening so fast that you're not able to process them. I'm getting that. It's like, oh my God. Trying to keep up with all the changes that are happening. And you gotta work really hard in order to progress at this time. It could be your finances, your relationships, your career, whatever it is. But the answer is right now, don't slack off. You won't have to do this much work with this much effort probably ever again in your life. There's something that this is like the last final push through. It's kind of like you're in labor and you're pushing that baby out. You're exhausted, right? But the only way that you're going to get out of the situation that you're in is to have the stick-to-itiveness. You got to accelerate. You got to put your foot on the gas and push. Just like that baby. You got to push it out. You're probably needing to put more time into something that you wish that you had to. So you may feel like it's a contradiction. Because I said you don't have to do everything yourself. No, you don't. But it is a time of very hard work. You are getting ahead. And you got to be determined. And you have to have the resolve to do what it takes to push it through. And you're going to be rewarded. You absolutely. But it talks about moving quickly. You may be having downloads like I am. And they're coming so quickly that you're... I mean, I've got to grab a piece of paper and write things down. They come so fast. But sitting on the couch, laying on the couch, being a couch surfer is not going to do it for you. It could be that you're feeling like, I can't change the way things are. I mean, I've got no control over this. There's a bird, the flycatcher, sitting on the wire over there. He's always quiet, listening. He's a mix between a flycatcher and, what's the word? Waxwing. So he's there to get rid of annoyances. Are you feeling like you're trapped? Because it's requiring so much to get to where you're at. I feel this way. That's why my body is just beat to hell. But it's not going to last. Whoa, that was quick. For those who chose, what is it we had? We had the Divine Masculine, we had the Buddha, we had the rats. The rat was third. So, Divine Masculine. Never jam today. Promises that never come to be. Empty words, not living in the now. So maybe it's not about the fact that you need to work in order to bring something about. Maybe you're in the wrong place because somebody's promising something that'll never happen. Promises that never eventuate. Oh yeah, if you do this, you'll get that. Someone's making promises that there's plenty of whatever in this offer, and it's extremely unlikely that they will ever deliver what they say they're going to deliver to you. So, I can do a lot for you. This is the best place for you to be. If you come in work with us, you know, they're offering maybe a pay raise. They're offering some fun. Maybe they're offering a commitment. They're lying. They're lying. It will never be delivered. It will never be enjoyed. They are someone who likes to continually make promises, but they'll never make good on the promises. Not when it really matters. Not when you really need them to. So, listen to the one that's making you these wonderful promises or boasting about, oh, I can do this. Yeah, we'll get this done. Or, yeah, we'll have that. This is your message. Lies. Are they always talking about the past and talking about, oh, we're going to do this in the future? They've always got big plans, but they never get anywhere. They're always struggling. So, it's like, put your money where your mouth is, basically, right? It could be that you are so attracted to good times or fun or what it could bring you, boasting about everything, but then maybe you're manipulating and withholding from someone else. Or this is what they're doing to you. So don't buy what they're trying to sell you. It's a line of bullshit. Are you easily manipulated because you believe what they say rather than what they're showing you that they do? Wondering if they're ever going to pay off, like deliver on the promise they've given you? Always dreaming about what's coming. Always dreaming about tomorrow. Live in the present is the message. They're not. If you can't see action, you can't see them delivering what they talk about, don't be living a pipe dream. Correct for neutrality, the rat. Correct for neutrality, the rat with the crystal in his mouth. Green rat. Maybe he's sick. Maybe he's the one who's promising all this. Oh yeah, I got diamonds. We'll bring you this, bring you that. Liar. Nonsense. Nonsense. It's time to talk sense. So, who's this queen that's promising you something that will never happen? This liar. So this is talking about, you know, like I said the other day, you can talk about, well, what it's going to be like when this person comes and is in your life, or you can talk about what it's going to be like when you when your business does this or that or the other, but you're never there. You're living in the future, you're not living in the now. This is also a time where you're going to stand up. She looks like she's a little bit afraid of this queen, right? But you're going to surprise yourself. You're going to stand up and speak to this person, and you're going to say, you're full of shit. You're overbearing. There's a person or a situation in your life, you need to call them out on their bad behavior. You are behaving badly. Stop enabling this bad behavior. You don't have to say a lot, and you don't have to criticize, you don't have to argue with this person. You don't have to get into all of any of it, because they're just going to argue with you, right? You just need to be firm. You just need to put your boundaries up and say, that enough is enough. I'm cutting through the bullshit. When you do, they're not going to know what to say. They're going to be so surprised that you're actually taking back your power. And the thing is, you are not going to be in a position of being threatened by this person. Spirit says you'll be safe. So maybe this person is a queen status, right? Maybe this person comes from a lot of money or a big high position, an authority figure. And you may not be as powerful as that person, and you may not be somebody that is outspoken this way. But you're not going to allow this person to walk all over you like a doormat. You're pointing out their bad behavior, and you're not going to back down. I know what I'm seeing. I know what's going on in front of me. You're going to look them straight in the eye, and you are no longer going to be intimidated by this fat queen. Surprise yourself. Now, don't do the opposite of this. Are you backing down when it comes time to stand up and speak your truth? Do you run from any confrontation? And I would rather, anything than have a confrontation. I'm allowing people to intimidate me. I don't seem to be able to find the courage within me because I'm afraid that they're going to hurt me or they're going to punish me in some way. I can't find my voice. But that's not the truth. You're saying that you can't be brave. I can't be brave unless I get really, really angry. Yeah, you can. You don't have to lose your shit. You don't have to be a bully like this person. You can just say, I'm not putting up with it, period. Archangel Michael is saying, let me handle it. That rat is not going to get their way. That's what I said to that big fat javelina. You're not going to get what you want. You can try and make a mess and knock things over and do it, but you know you're going down. You know it's not happening. So you're going to try and grab as much as you can before you go. Right? That's what happened last night. So the Buddha, correct for neutrality on all levels. A moment's regret, nostalgia, idealizing the past, fearing that you've made a mistake. Seems to be a lot about looking back, right? Holding on to something, feeling that maybe it's your fault. Looking at something and seeing it with rose-colored glasses, perhaps. Constantly blaming yourself. We all make mistakes, all of us. So this message, when this comes forward, it's about taking a look at and accepting that you aren't who you once were. You've grown. You've made mistakes. But stop beating yourself up. You're not where you were a couple of years ago. Maybe you don't know where you're going. Maybe you're, I don't know. I'm not happy with that, and I'm moving forward, but there's so much that's changing and shifting right now. I feel uncertain. But Spirit says, don't freaking dwell on the uncertainty, on the worry. Instead, think of it as there's adventure coming. You wouldn't be getting this message. There is change. There's ups and downs. I'm going through a lot. What happened last night to me, that was, it's just been proven to me again and again. I don't need to explain myself to other people. I don't need to, defend my position and say, I know what a psychic attack is. I've experienced it. And when my cats start reacting like that, it's going to hit me hard. And it did. So I don't even allow it into my arena, period. But I don't need to explain that to you or anyone else. So ups and downs. I feel sick as hell today. No idea. There's a major change that's happening. But whenever we go through something that's difficult, I just know. Don't even entertain that. Why didn't I read that? It's kind of like read the fine print, right? Why didn't I read that? Why did I just believe what somebody else told me? Hey, this is a good movie. And then I buy it without even looking at it just because there was somebody in it that I liked, an actor that I liked. So is there somebody that you like and you're not seeing what's going on? there, you've grown from something. You've made a choice about something. Like me coming here, I made a huge choice to move away from California. It was the right thing. All the change comes, and whenever there's change, it's difficult. It is. It's you know, there's. So if you've done something, don't second guess your decision. Don't beat yourself up for what I've done. Don't feel regretful or missing, you know. I came here and I said, I saw Idlewild this morning and I said, oh, I miss Idlewild. It's beautiful. That doesn't mean I'm going to go back. I like it there, right? I like it in a lot of places. I'm not living back there. I'm living here now. I'm focusing on what's going on in my life. Don't focus on what can go wrong. Focus on everything that can go right. When I got so sick last night, nausea and flu, the affirmation from Louise Hay was, I am safe. I am protected. All good blessings come to me now. I said it over and over and over last night until I fell asleep. So focus on what can go right. Stop going headlong forward without looking and without trying to decide. You know, like jumping into something without looking. Like that movie, right? What the hell? This is about maybe somebody feeling stuck in a place. I can't, what's the word I said to my twin? You're trying to figure out how to, something your lifestyle with my lifestyle, aren't you? And he said, wow, you understand. No, I didn't understand at the time, but now I do. You're trying to figure out how to blend those two things together. And Spirit's saying you're not able to figure out how to blend the past, the present, the future. You're refusing to remember. You see nostalgia. You don't allow yourself to have those feelings of memories of goodness. You could be focusing on only the future and not understanding that what happened in the past is why you're going through to the future. So you got to put it all together, right? The past, the present, and the future. It all works. Wonderful things come to me. I'm excited to see what that is. I've learned lessons in the past. I'll never go back to that. It made me stronger. It hurt. Just like what I went through last night. That hurt. I still hurt. But I won't make that mistake again. I won't be picking up a video or doing something because somebody else tells me that I'm supposed, or taking some kind of a, like my cat right now is eating catnip. I heard in the middle of the night, I heard he took one hit and he was hooked. One hit and he was hooked. Don't listen to what somebody else says. I had that happen to me. Somebody said, hey, you want to smoke some pot? And I'm like, no. No, you don't channel. You don't have any fun anymore. You don't party, you don't do anything ever since you started doing your work. And I thought, all right, you know, peer pressure. And so he came in and then he's like, I don't have any pot, but I've got this. And I said, no, I don't do drugs. And he goes, no, it's just an herb. It's just an herb. It just makes you laugh. And I said, no, it's okay. I don't do drugs. And so then I watched him and he was laughing. And obviously this is somebody that did that a lot, right? I was super sensitive and it wasn't something that I did, but I thought, yeah, I'm working really hard. Maybe I'll just, you know, he's just laughing. Maybe it's okay. I took one hit and I was gone. The room was rolling over. My tongue was rolling back in the back of my throat. I thought I was going to die. Archangel Michael came to count me down and said, you're going to be okay. He was with me. It was gnarly. So it was the most, I tripped. I went on the biggest trip on the planet. I just heard somebody went on an acid trip. Don't just listen to somebody else. Somebody said to me yesterday, do you have any mushrooms? And I said, no. And they said, you know where I can get any? And I said, no. And even if I did, I wouldn't tell you. This person's trying to stop smoking pot constantly. And they said, oh, I've done a lot of research, and, you know, acid or taking mushrooms, you know, can help you come down. And I said, it's trading one drug for another. It's one dependency for another dependency. Your issue is codependency. You need to go clean all the way. And that's what happened to somebody. And the person argued and said, oh, I understand that you're trying to keep me safe. And I said, look, I've already experienced it. I already know. And you could say, well, that might not be my experience. Well, I was channeling, and Spirit was telling her in no uncertain terms, no. I don't have an addictive personality. She does. So if you don't want to listen to Spirit, then you're going to have the consequences, right? Anyway, it was a heavy reading. Wow. But I'll let you take a look around. It's a beautiful day. I'll upload this. I can't even talk. I'm so tired. If you enjoyed the way I read, my website is www.theangelswhisper.com if you'd like a reading or any help with anything else. I did Reiki on myself and on my cats. It's the only way we were able to sleep last night. I'm a Reiki master. I sent it to my twin wherever he's at. And anything else I could help you with. And please click the like button and subscribe and the all button and share these videos so that the most people can benefit from them. Love you guys.